Hello, hi, how are you today? I hope you had a wonderful week. Today, I want to talk to you about live better, live longer. We all are in a season, a very unique season, where some of the things that we've thought about that could help us get to where we want to, we seem to be taking a different track, especially in our climate. I'm actually referring to people who live in Nigeria and maybe even in West Africa. How do you lead better? The truth is that up until this moment, most of our leaders were not properly led. In fact, they were not taught on how to lead. That's why, to a very large extent, in sub-Saharan Africa, in a few places I've been able to visit, you discover that the military on the whole are better leaders than civilians. Now, because before you get to the range of a colonel or even a major general in the military, the amount of training and tutelage they've gone through, prepares them to begin to lead their troops. That's why on the whole, that's the truth, at least my observation, on the whole, military leaders, when they come into politics, end up becoming better leaders. They may take some tough decisions you and I may not like, because the military orientation affects them. But in a better sense, they've demonstrated to be better leaders than civilians in our climate. Context is key. So, here are some tips I want to share with you today that will help you and I to live better and live longer. How do we live longer? We live longer by the legacies we leave behind, by the legacies that you also leave behind. And one of those tools that I want to share with you today is think others. As a leader, you face different scenarios, you face different situations. You probably are leading 5, 10, 20 or 50 people, 100, thousands. Majority of your decisions will affect lots of people, could affect your community. So that decision that you are taking, how will it affect other people? What is the ratio of the positive or the negative impact to you or to others? So as you lead, I'm asking you to think of others. As you are in that position of authority, wielding so much power and influence and authority and resources, are you thinking of others? Because if you do, you are going to provide better leadership and you are going to live longer. Another item I want you to use in leading better and living longer is to think the greater goal. You see, the greater goal is far more important than my personal interest or my personal goal, unless my personal goal is in tandem with the greater goal. If 90% of the decisions that I take does not talk about the greater goal of unity, of progress, of development, of good health, good life, development, if it only talks about me, then I am not leading well. I'm also not going to live longer because I'll have lots of opposition. Just like I said earlier, if I think others, it then means the greater goal will supersede mine. If it's in my institution that I am leading, for example, or I find myself in a position of leadership and I'm expected to take certain steps, certain decisions towards furthering the service offering that we have, I must think the greater goal. Now, one of the things you find more common in our climate, and I'm talking about Africa today, is most of our leaders don't think the greater goal. They think more about themselves and their clan or their immediate conclave. And that's why the kind of progress we're supposed to make, we're not making it. So I'm telling you, think the greater goal. The greater goal of this business, the greater goal of this organization, the greater goal of society. Because if I'm able to think that, then I'm going to live better and live longer. Another thing I want to mention is respect others. Because you are just one whole, but you have the opportunity to lead us, or I have the opportunity to lead you, I must respect other people in terms of their opinion, in terms of what they bring to bear, in my leadership journey. I must respect their views. They may differ from mine, but because our culture in Africa has made us, maybe it's another clime, but a few places I've traveled around, in Africa, because our culture do not allow us or haven't allowed us to listen to people who are younger than we are, especially with this age thing, it has made us to lose valuable ideas that could make us increase our speed of productivity, increase our speed of development, increase our speed to catch up with the other world. I must respect other people. I must respect them by their gender, by their sex, by their faith, by what they believe in, by even the way they decide to dress sometimes. You and I may be biased about appearance, but we have a new generation of people, a new generation of men and women that are growing up, which we need to respect their opinion. If we disagree, or if they disagree with the ideas of the decisions that we've made, we must respect that. It doesn't mean they are against us. But our culture and the kind of feedback and the way we've grown over the years has made it look as if they are against us. They are not against us. It's just us not willing to take or to respect other people's opinion, other people's presence in a team that we find ourselves. So I am hoping that you will begin to see the part of respecting other people's opinion and considering it in our leadership journey. The last point I want to talk about in helping you to live better and live longer is to reward fairly. Most of us in my journey so far, our idea of reward is kind of skewed. We seem to prize our own service more than the services that people give to us. And people can give to us service or support in any kind of way. But the issue is, how do we reward? Are we rewarding fairly in commensurate measure on the service or support that you and I get? Or are we rewarding because we believe those people are giving us some of the things that we want, even when we know better? Are we rewarding the right people who did the right job? Are we being fair in the way we apportion recognition? If we don't reward fairly, if you don't reward fairly, especially as a leader, you are going to find out that the outcome of subsequent projects or subsequent goals you plan to achieve will diminish. It will diminish, and that's what you need to avoid as a leader. So I'm saying that you need to reward fairly, and when you reward fairly, you leave greater legacies behind. People look back and recall when you were leading them and your sense of fair judgment to others. So, I am hoping that with these few thoughts I have shared with you, you will be able to look at them, think through them, reflect on them, and apply them so that you can lead better and live longer. Until our next edition, and I'll see you, and I wish you all the very best.